Guys, welcome back. Today we are going to go over a few mods, and we're gonna get back into, or we're gonna get into the Nether for the first time. Basically, a lot of our progression has stopped, just because we're waiting on the Nether. So I'll kind of quickly go over what I learned from these books that I read. So we'll start with Apothesis. Um, so basically, we kind of had the gems right. They are used to upgrade empty sockets, but each of the Apothesis drops, so like anything that has like a special name, kind of has special what are called affixes or bonuses. So like this helmet gives plus max health and spell resistance, and so that's like super cool. You can't craft any of like the affixes, although you can re-roll affixes, and I think you can make armor. You can give it to armor through that re-roller process. If we go back here, adventure mode, affixes, reforging here. So we need one of these in order to reforge. But it's based on the rarity of material. So right now we don't have any special material. We need to basically put all this junk that we're not using in here. And you can see it's going to give us different types of materials here. So we go bam. It gave us some uncommon fabric and some rare shards. And now we can just store that away, and those can be used later for upgrades and other things. I learned a little bit more about this over here. So the Eterna is pretty much as described. It's for every one Eterna, you get 2 levels of max enchanting. The Quanta, what it does is it increases your range. So you can see like the range is from 18 to 42 now. If we removed one, it would go to one of the heads and go to 20 to 41. So it basically just adds a little bit more randomness, and Arcana again just shifts everything towards that rare kind of stuff. At 25% enchanta, we're guaranteed a minimum of 2 enchantments, which is great. But to upgrade all this, we basically need to get the these hell shelves, which means we need to go to the Nether. So that's what we're waiting on here. We could do some of this stuff. I don't have anything really great to do it with, so I'm gonna hold off. So that's what I learned about Apothesis. With the iron books, basically, what I've learned is that you can craft your own journals, and that's really what we're going into, our spell books, and that's what we're really going into the Nether for. We're going in to be able to craft this one here. We need these hog skins, and it'll allow us to have 10 spell slots plus 100 mana, so it'll give us 2 extra spell slots. I also want to be able to craft the scroll forge, which will allow you to create your own spells. But before we go in, I do want to basically upgrade some of the spells and then put 8 spells in here, fill out our slot, and then go in. I'll probably make some of those decisions and then kind of walk you through kind of how you upgrade them and why I chose certain ones over other ones. There's a lot of there's different schools. So this is straight evocation, but there's nature, and then there's fire, and then there's ice, ender, lightning, blood, holy, and then one called ancient that we haven't even seen yet. And then you just upgrade them with this ink in an anvil. So I can actually show that now. So we have our little anvil right here. I'm going to throw it just right here in the middle for now. We may reorganize this, but let's say, I really like this. Let's see. We have a greater heal spell here. It's a rare, which is really nice. So it means that it's going to end up healing more than this one eventually. It heals for maximum. So I don't know what an increase in that would do, but we only have 2 rares, so I don't really want to upgrade that quite yet. I want to hold off. Let's see if we can find a good uncommon. Boom. 5 damage. Well, let's just see what upgrading this looks like. We have plenty of commons here. So we have a healing spell like that, and we want to up. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Okay, guys, we're back. I figured out what we were doing wrong, and we needed this arcane anvil. It was very easy to craft, just 3 amethyst blocks, a diamond, an anvil, and a couple of polished deep slate, and bam, we're in action. So if we wanted to upgrade this healing spell, we could add the common ink to it, and it'll increase the healing by 1 and go from a level 1 to a level 3. If we wanted to do it again, we just take another one of these, go boom, boom. Looks like there might be a limit to how much you can do. Maybe it's maxed out on its level. Maybe level 3 is as high as that healing spell goes. But anyways, that's how upgrading goes. I'm going to basically figure out what spells I want to add to my spell book, and I will be right back with that. But before we do, let's kind of talk about the other things we're looking for while we're in the Nether. So Tinker's Construct, the next material that's better than what we have is cobalt. It can only be found in the Nether, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some cobalt. And then once we get cobalt, we can get, I think we can get this one, the Hepatzian maybe? So, whatever that one is, that's the next one. And once you get that, you can get Manilium. Great stuff. And the Blazing Bone, I'm sure that has something to do with blaze rods and stuff like that. I'm sure there's more, but these are like the kind of the end game stuff. Queen Slime is just a alteration of different. Here, I'll show you. It's an alteration. It's an alloy using Nether material. So go here, go into alloying. You need magma from slime balls. You need molten gold, and you need the cobalt, and it'll create something a little bit stronger. So we need cobalt is our next thing. So that's what we need for Tinker's Construct. And then for Divine RPG, we're really looking for blood gems and taurodite. These are the next stronger materials. And then once we do that, we should be ready to start fighting some Divine RPG bosses. I'll probably wait for some of the other guys to kind of catch up in Divine RPG before we go ahead and do that. But basically with Divine RPG, before we can go into the next portal, you need to kill some bosses. So the next portal is created out of these blocks. You create it just like a Nether portal, just with divine rock, and it's just smooth stone and these divine shards, which are only dropped by certain enemies. So this guy is the ancient entity. He's so big he doesn't really show up, but this is what he drops. And then the other boss that we can fight in the overworld is the Watcher, and he drops this stuff. So we're looking for these divine shards. We are going to need a lot of them. So like you need a minimum, or I guess we don't need that many. I thought it was going to be a full block, but it's just one per block. We need a minimum of 10 of them. So it's probably good to go ahead and fight both of these guys once we do. But I am going to go ahead and kind of pick out some spells, get us ready for the Nether, and then I'll go through the spells I picked and we'll go ahead and jump on in. So I will see you guys back in just a second. What's up, guys? Alrighty, we are back. So I ended up deciding on 8 spells. Our first one here is called Icicle. It's an instant cast spell. It just allows you to shoot an icicle right in front of you and has a cooldown of 1 second, so you can really spam this thing at stuff. Our second one is called Shield. It puts up a 65 hit point shield in space in front of you. You can actually have it a little bit lower, and you can climb on top of it. Really nice to have. Our next one is called Cone of Ice. It costs basically a ton of mana, but it does an area of effect damage that you can't really see. I'm gonna go see if I can find some mobs to do it on. But it does area of effect damage, and it lasts for 5 seconds, so it does a good amount of damage. We'll do it on this king crab here. And what's great is it is unaffected by being hit. You're not going to lose any concentration, and it brought that king crab down to 2 hits with this axe, which is pretty good. Our next one is called Poison Splash, but I will show you our 5th one until basically until we can find another enemy. Our 5th one is Charge. You just use it. It's an insta cast, and it gives you speed, attack damage, and an increase in your spell damage. I'm not seeing any other enemies right now, so we'll just keep going on. Our next one is Portal. I actually don't have enough max mana for this right now, but essentially the idea is that this would open up a portal about 48 blocks away, allowing you to get a quick escape. Our 7th spell here is a heal spell. It heals for a total of 5 health. Bam, just like that, super quick and easy. And then lastly, our 8th spell here is called Fortify. Just give it a click. It's going to do an area of effect, and it's going to give temporary hit points to things inside that area of effect. I'm not sure if that includes enemies, but it's a pretty nice effect overall. And then let's test out this splash poison on this crab here. Oh yeah, look at that. And now poison 2 for 11 seconds. So what that did about 20 damage. I feel like that's pretty good for what it is. I mean, it is a very low spell. It's only a level 3. So you're not expecting a whole lot, but poison is a very nice effect to have. But I think with that, we are pretty much ready to go into the Nether. I'm going to go ahead and grab some blocks just in case. Maybe not deep slate, but what stone do we have? I kind of want to keep... Yeah, let's just do deep slate then. Let's do a couple stacks of that, and that should be good. Going down and in. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to basically go through here. I've already did a little scouting, and we're kind of in a pretty bad spot. We're really high up. Luckily, I don't have any fall damage, but I want to make sure I don't hit any lava or anything. But I'm going to look around, try to find some interesting stuff, check off some of the things we need, and I'll update you guys when I find something interesting. Yeah, Geronimo, here we go. Okay, an axe. I'll take that. Alrighty guys, so we have found a little something here. Quick update, we found some blood gem ore, we found 1 toradite, found a little bit of cobalt, and we got some of the gas tiers we need. Other than that, we still need to collect a whole lot more stuff. This will probably be full of loot, and I think it'll be a good thing. We just have to watch our step for sure. I may try to snipe some of these guys with this bowhead anchor. I don't think I showed this off to you guys yet. This is made from these whale fins that I was farming, and some of the aquatic ingots from the pure aquatic pellets made from aquatic pellets dropped by the king crab. So that's how I got those. Whale fins were just dropped by whales. I know, feels kind of crappy killing whales, but it gave me this thing, which makes an annoying sound, but sure is fun. I think the one thing I want to make sure is I don't want to hit any piglins. I'm going to go ahead and give myself some extra protection here. And then I'm going to go back over here, do that. I'm going to make sure my queue is kind of ready to go. Okay, he was either at very low health or just we are way more overpowered than we thought. I think whatever has this name is casting something, but I don't really have time for that. Gold gloves, not really good. A flaming strike, we'll take that. A gem, I love a gem. Take these. I don't know if these are used for anything. Or sorry, uses. It looks like they have some use. That is a cool looking brick. Maybe we utilize that somewhere in our building. Blank runes. These are apparently really rare and really good to have around. I'm gonna put that away. Put that away. Some iron ingots. Some arcane stuff. Let's just go ahead and throw that stuff in there. I'm going to throw that in there as well. Unfortunately, we don't have Silk Touch right now. We do have a way to get a Silk Touch pick. We just haven't gotten it there yet. So I have found that this Nether run was way easier than I thought. I was pretty... I was feeling pretty cautious coming in here. Just because I really didn't want to die and deal with the death loop stuff. But I completely forgot that I have fire protection from one of my rings. So that's like super useful. And between that and my armor that gives me no fall damage, there's not a whole lot of things in here that can do a ton of damage to me. You, sir, are getting quite on my nerves. I'm not sure. Oh, you're being really annoying. Let's do that so we can get a good look at this. Rage gloves. This is a relic. You may learn more about it at the relic table. So we'll go ahead and save that. A reflecting necklace, another relic. You may learn more about this. And this one has a little special something around it. More of this stuff. This is going to be really good for iron spells and spellbook. This is like a base ingredient. One of these, another rare ingredient. Flame strike. We will take it. Not great. And then we can use that to for just basic stuff. Let's just go ahead and throw everything in there. No real need to organize, in my opinion. So we'll just throw everything in the system, which it's just great knowing that you really don't need to organize. First hoglin, drop your skins. Let's go. Okay, so that's something we need for sure. That's great. Let's see what else. What else do we got? Yeah, so with fall damage, this looks like it's definitely one of the Hoglin pens. I don't know if this has been upgraded at all from the Young's better dungeons and all sorts of stuff. I pretty much added every Young's better mod in there. A fire aspect knife and a diamond shovel. Excuse you. Some pork chops, some ham, and that guy being annoying. And some gilded blackstone. Okay. Oh, and a flame pendant. We do have one of those already. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna keep going through this. I figured we can chit chat a little bit. Um, well, that was not very nice. I can kind of tell you a little bit about what's going on in my life and that stuff. So, um, with work right now, again, I work for a university doing research, and we are researching in epilepsy. One of the labs I'm working in researches in epilepsy, and the other one does um, MS. So right now we're kind of at like the start of the studies, which has kind of been um, it's been productive, but it hasn't felt productive. You know, like you're kind of getting everything started, so you're doing a whole lot, um, but you don't feel like you're accomplishing a whole lot because there's no results. Barely made that. So we are actually starting like the study finally. We have our first real not healthy control that is not from the lab coming in tomorrow. It's actually my grandmother. She's in town because my sister had her baby and she wants to come and visit, um, which is really exciting. I love having her here. She is really excited to come down and be a healthy control for for this MS study, and so that's going to be really awesome. And then as of this, so it's a Tuesday right now. So Wednesday we have our first real healthy control, and then Monday we we're gonna have our first MS patient come through, which is super exciting. Wow, that's a lot of damage. So yeah, a lot of stuff to kind of look forward to kind of coming up. Um, and again, so my grandmother's in town, so that's a big thing going on, and my sister had her baby, and yeah, so there's just been a lot going on. All really exciting stuff though. And then, of course, I'm starting this YouTube channel, which has been super fun to start out. We're getting quite a few episodes under our belts, which has been really, really good. I've seen a lot of positive um, interactions with the channel already, way more than I actually expected for the first few videos, and I haven't even started like having other people in the videos yet, so it's really encouraging. And like the next big thing is seeing how people react when it's not just me behind the camera. So I'm overall rather excited to see what happens. Yeah, and then with that said, I've been doing a lot of upgrades to my PC and some of the other stuff in my room. So, like a big thing was after building my PC, I didn't have space on my desk anymore for it. So, ooh, that's nice. So I was basically kind of like stuck where my PC was taking up a third or more of my desk, and I really didn't have any space for any for like my for my I didn't have space for my keyboard or my mouse or any like hand space or anything like that. So it was really frustrating. I finally got a new desk and put it together the other day, and it's just been so much nicer, which has been great. Withered leggings. Okay, that's interesting. Pig step. Let's go. Get a little pig step. A little bit more food. I'll just collect everything and throw it in here. That, oh wow, that's interesting. I may save that just because it's socketed. Make sure we get some good sockets or some good gems on there before doing anything with it. Yeah, so I guess continuing on, I guess I just want to hear from you guys, hear what you're liking about the series, hear what you want to see, um, any mods that interest you. I've kind of been all over the place with the mods, kind of delving into a little bit of everything. But if you want to see me deep dive into something, if you really want to see something early on and maybe put a different one to the back burner, like we could definitely go back to like Twilight Forest. There's Create in this mod pack, so there's a lot that can still be done with this mod pack that we haven't even touched yet. So if there's anything you guys like to see, let me know. Well, thank God I have fire resist. Um, yeah, just let me know. The Played Out series, again, if you like any of that, your support is always appreciated there. Um, and then I'm actually thinking about starting to stream. So if that's something you want to see me do, put a comment down. Um, I would probably be streaming either the Played Up series. Aw. I'd either be streaming the Played Up series or a Baldur's Gate series, just depending on who's available. I'll probably stream both of them at some point. Um, but yeah, so comment all those things, and I will be back with more updates from the Nether. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna keep exploring the Nether, but we gotta wrap this one up. And then the following episode, we'll keep exploring the Nether until we get everything we need. I did find out that this doesn't actually take you back home from the Nether, so we're also gonna have to find a way home, which is kind of a big deal. But yeah, lost in the Nether, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.